Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media. We are pleased to have in the studio with us today our friends from Frontwave Credit Union, Bill Birnie, President and CEO, joined by his Chief Human Resources Officer, Sarai Rodgers. Bill and Sarah, how you doing?
Doing really well.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. Bill, we'll start with you. Talk about the history of Frontwave and the mission and so forth.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, I've been blessed with two careers I absolutely love. I served 25 years in the Marine Corps, retiring in 1997.
Thank you for your service.
Major.
Appreciate it.
In the last 8 years I was in the Marine Corps, I'd finished my degree, going to school at night and stuff, and I was looking for something to do. And I ended up becoming a volunteer at Frontwave Credit Union, then known as Marine Corps West. And I did that for 8 years, and when I retired, they hired me. I started out as an internal auditor, eventually became a VP of Finance and Risk Management. And then in 2007, I was selected to be the CEO of Eagle Community Credit Union, headquartered up in Orange County. So I knew that what was going on at Eagle, and I knew there were some challenges there, but I didn't know was a recession was coming.
Right.
So it was a great place for a brand new CEO to earn the right, to learn the business and really know how to get things turned around. In 2015, I got selected to come back to Frontwave Credit Union, and have then been serving there for the last 9 years. Since I've been there, we've grown from 77,000 members to over 128,000.
Congratulations.
And from about $725 million in assets to $1.5 billion. So we're really proud of doing that, and doing that through organic growth.
That sounds great. Sarah, when did you get involved?
I started with Frontwave Credit Union in July of 2017. So
Okay.
I've been there since as their Chief Human Resources Officer.
Yeah, were you at a credit union before?
I was not.
Okay.
I was at a number of high-tech companies, including Netscape Communications, AOL Time Warner, here locally, Modern Postcard, and West Development Organization. So nice background with 25 years of human resources, but delighted to join the credit union space with Mr. Birnie.
Right. So, Bill, are most of the members those folks who have served in the military or all over the board?
Up until 2000, we were 100% military. We served, we have 4 bases, Camp Pendleton, the Marine Corps Recruit Depot in San Diego, the logistics base in Barstow, and the Air Ground Combat Center, 29 Palms. But in 2020, the base realignment closure program was coming out, and we said, well, we've got to diversify. And that's when we opened ourselves up to the community. In 2018, we rebranded as Frontwave, because we were Pacific Marine before, and people thought we were a boat company or you had to be a Marine to join. And we wanted to dispel that myth. And that really kick-started our work into the community. And today, we're about 54% military and 46% coming to us through the communities. So it's been a great way to diversify our membership and to grow the organization.
No, that's terrific. I'll just chat about this now, and then we'll get to the foundation. I'm really curious to talk about all the cool stuff you're doing with the foundation. But you have a new stadium up in San Diego County, do you not?
Frontwave Arena.
Very good. Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, we signed that contract years ago. And it's a great example of our contributions to the community, because North County needed something like this. They needed it in a big way. And everywhere I go, people are going, my God, I can't believe we got this here now, right here in Oceanside. I don't have to drive to San Diego for sports and entertainment.
Right.
It opened on September 16th with the Simone Biles and the Gold Over America tour. It was just absolutely fabulous. And that was the first time I was in the arena where they actually had an event going on. And it's a big brand play for us, right? We want to make sure that we're increasing our brand presence, getting people to know who we are. And it was just wonderful to sit there and, of course, watch a tremendous performance, but also to see Frontwave everywhere. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to that. How big is the venue? How many seats?
for concerts, it can hold up to 7,500, and for
Nice.
sports, around 5,500.
No, that's great. Where's it located exactly in Oceanside?
It's right off of Rancho del Oro and Oceanside Boulevard.
I know exactly where that is. My former in-laws lived right there, matter of fact.
Right next to the Aquatic Center.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, do you have a whole bunch of events already scheduled for the arena?
We do.
Okay.
The San Diego Sockers, that will be their
Right.
home field. The San Diego Clippers.
Yep.
They and the Clippers, actually, because it's a G League team for the LA Clippers,
Right.
they get an NBA preseason game, which they had earlier this month.
Nice.
And from what I hear, it was absolutely fabulous. The people were having a great time. The Clippers season opening game is on the 8th, next Friday. And then, of course, they've already had several concerts, and they got a whole bunch more scheduled going out. And they're talking to a potential arena football team, a professional lacrosse team.
Nice.
So they're continuing to try to grow that. What I'm really looking forward to is when they start bringing in fight nights and MMA. I think that'll do really, really well up in the Camp Pendleton area.
Yeah. Sarah's got a big smile on her face on that. We're chatting with Bill Birnie. He's the president and CEO of Frontwave Credit Union, joined by his colleague Sarai Rodgers, Chief Human Resources Officer. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. For 60 years, been doing great things in our community, whether it's food insecurity, whether it's literacy, art, and that. So just thrilled to be with Mission Fed as we are broadcasting from their really cool building here in Scripps Ranch. Sarah, talk about some of the pillars of the foundation.
Oh, I would love to, Drew. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So we are very much in our infancy at the foundation, and we've decided early on to continue along with the great work that Frontwave Credit Union established early on. And so we serve 5 pillars, and you actually mentioned a few of them. Supporting veterans, active duty service members, and their families is the first one. Helping the sick and disabled, and of course, there's a growing need in that capacity with that pillar in our community. The third one is serving our communities, and that is our local communities. We want to be able to give back to the local communities regularly and throughout the year as well. Feeding the hungry, our fourth pillar, and then lastly, providing emergency assistance to the communities that we serve.
Yeah, I think it's interesting in this all great, causes, to say the least, and there's certainly no shortage of those, as we all know. I think one of our frequent guests that are on the show is our friends from the San Diego Food Bank, Cushman and Jacobs Food Bank. And I think it surprises people. I remember, Sarah, you can address this, and Bill, you can add to it. People are stunned by the number of people in San Diego County that go hungry and are food insecure. Sarah, talk about that.
Oh my goodness, that is one that hits me very much in the heart. We work with an organization, Got Your Back San Diego, and just recently gave a donation to the organization. And we went and we visited an Oceanside and walked through their facility, where they talked about their goal is to continue to give. Currently, they support 400 students in the immediate area. And originally, I thought it was students of all ages. And Bill, the founder and president of the organization there at Got Your Back San Diego, said, no, that's only K through 5. And the interesting thing about this is that it is the local community that comes together every Thursday and packs bags for these 400 children in the communities in which we serve. And they have other volunteers that come in and deliver on their own with their own cars to these 400 children who would otherwise just go unfed over the weekend. And as we talked to Bill at Got Your Back San Diego, he said no, and oftentimes it goes beyond those children that we're supporting directly. It's their families, which otherwise wouldn't have any food to eat during the weekend. So it is a huge and growing issue beyond our community. And so we at the foundation are very excited about that pillar to continue to grow and attract individual partners so that we can continue to service the folks that are around us with that great need.
Yeah, and Bill, as you know, anybody, certainly the Marines, you don't have any food in your body, you can't do your job, and the student doesn't have food in his or her body. How are you going to learn, correct?
Yeah, no, it's critical. And one of the things that we've done not too long ago, we have what we call Super Mondays. We bring everybody from all over Southern California together for Columbus Day, because the schools are open and we're not.
Yeah.
And we always try to wrap some form of a philanthropic activity with it. And one year it was bringing food in. And I think, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was over 2,000 pounds of food. And then we split it up
correct.
to three food banks, and we gave each of the food banks, I think it was $5,000.
Yeah.
To try to help that sort of thing. And then we hear stories about Bruno Serrato up in at the White House in LA area, and what he does for children. It's really amazing the kinds of things people are trying to do. But it's heartbreaking to see this situation as it is.
Yeah, there's no question about it. We are very much involved with the San Diego Military Advisory Council. I'm not sure if you work with them at all, and they're serve so many folks have been around for 15 years, and they put on breakfast once a month and all that. And Neil and I are always going to their breakfast and all that business. What type of military groups do you work with? Do you work with like Armed Services YMCA? Do you work with USO? Everybody in between?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Our chief experience officer is on the board of the Armed Services YMCA at Camp Pendleton. We're obviously involved with them at 29 Palms and MCRD as well.
Right.
Veterans Association of North County, we support them, and the foundation has made a donation to them. The Military Advisory Group, I'm a member.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I don't get to the breakfasts anywhere near as often as I should.
Well, it's a drive for you.
It is a bit of a drive, yeah. But you're right. They do some great work. And just recently, I got approached to join another philanthropic, military-related board that I'm going to learn a lot more about. I got a very lengthy email yesterday asking me from a friend that I know who's on that board, and I'll probably do that because this giving back thing is part of our DNA, and it's part of my DNA. And one of the reasons I've been teaching at the Western Community Management School for the last 15 years is because the school did a lot for me. I credit that school for becoming a CEO. So my opportunity to give back and teach there for young credit union professionals working their way up. Those sorts of things are the things I kind of love to do.
Right.
And the credit union allows me that time to do that, serving on different boards in our communities and things like that. So we'll continue to do those things. And we're continuing to find ways to give back and to help.
When we come back from break, we're going to talk about that aspect. Also, how our listeners can support the efforts of the foundation and what you are doing, and so forth in that aspect. I also want to chat with you about your involvement with the schools up in North County at all. Do you work with them as well? And anything else you want to chat about as we chat more about Frontwave Credit Union with Bill Birnie, President and CEO, joined by his colleague Sarai Rodgers, Chief Human Resources Officer. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, 6 decades of doing great things for people living in San Diego County. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. So pleased to have in the studio with us today our president of Frontwave Credit Union, Bill Birnie, is the president and CEO, joined by his colleague, Sarai Rodgers, Chief Human Resources Officer, just chatting about the cool things that the foundation does. Bill, before we get into how we can support, our listeners can support the foundation and so forth, talk a little bit about your military service, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I joined the Marine Corps basically right out of high school. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I had a mediocre academic performance in high school. And one of the great things that I would say, the decision to join the Marine Corps was one of maybe 4 or 5 truly impactful decisions that I made that have shaped my life. I was without direction. I had no purpose. Didn't know what I was going to do. I barely got out of high school, and joining the Marine Corps gave me, number one, 25 additional years of adult leadership.
That's great.
It gave me a purpose. It gave me a sense of duty. I was held accountable for my actions. And so when I was underperforming, somebody let me know about that. And I post everything I've learned in my life that was really important. I learned through some form of pain. And so... So the Corps was really great for me, and I absolutely love to be in a Marine. I mean, it's like, what a terrible thing. You're hiking up a steep hill on Camp Pendleton, you're bathed in sweat, and you get to watch the sunrise with several hundred of your best friends. And I did serve in Desert Storm and United Shield, but compared to what Marines have done elsewhere, it was a video game with live targets in some respects.
Well, you're being way too humble, and I know that for a fact. My father fought at Guadalcanal in World War II, which is some pretty intense fighting, as you well know.
That was really intense.
First Marine Division. And so, that was something. But, so we just absolutely just applaud you and so forth and all your colleagues and what you have done. Can't say thank you enough on that. Sarah, talk about what our listeners can do to support the foundation. And Bill, you can add to it also. What can we do?
Absolutely. Thank you, Drew. And I'd like to piggyback off of what Mr. Birnie said, is that the Frontwave Foundation really is deeply rooted in the Marine heritage that the organization has enjoyed since 1952. And so the foundation has a Give 360 approach to giving in the community. So every dollar that's donated and or every sponsorship that's given goes right back to the community. And so that we invite folks to come check out our website. We are on LinkedIn. We are on social media. And so we encourage people to check out Instagram and LinkedIn, as well as our website. Next, that's coming up, we have a charity golf tournament that's coming up December the 2nd. It is our first golf tournament. We are super excited about it. And so we invite you to check out our website. It's going to be at Emerald Isle, which is a golf course in Oceanside off of El Camino Real. We are looking for 72 golfers. It's halfway full. So whether you play or would like to donate and or don't play but still would like to donate, we certainly offer that as an opportunity. In the future, we look forward to having scholarships for our local community. That's something that we think we're very passionate about. By the way, the foundation is formed with, in addition to myself, 6 other very passionate board members that are all volunteers, and also in their DNA, that spirit of giving, that spirit of doing more, that spirit of making a difference. And so we're just getting started, and we're super excited about the future.
Yeah, so the golf tournament will be on December the 2nd up in Oceanside. You're halfway there with your 72 golfers. And let me tell you, having played in a bunch of golf tournaments, I applaud you not having 144 golfers where things get backed up and it's a 15-hour round. And then so I think it's great. Is it a scramble tournament? Do you know what type of format it is, Bill?
Yeah, it'll be a scramble.
Yeah.
It's all about just having fun and raising money for the foundation.
Yeah.
And camaraderie. But you're right. Slow play is the scourge of the earth.
100%. 100%. Anybody who's been in golf tournaments, when I was running community and public relations for the Union Tribune, we sponsored a lot of them. And maybe this is a little selfish on my part. No, it wasn't a little. It was a lot selfish on my part. I'd always ask, how many golfers are you going to have in this? And the ones who really got it said, we don't want to have, more than X amount, okay? And we know it's a better experience for the golfers themselves. It helps the nonprofit because they're going to come back and all that. So that's terrific. Are you golfing in the tournament, Bill?
I will be traveling that day.
Oh,
hopefully
okay.
I'll be back in town in time to at least be there for when it wraps up.
Very, very good. Are you a golfer, Sarah?
I am not, but I love anything having to do with golf. I'm just terrible at it, so I quit long ago.
Okay, well, listen, I bet you're a good putter, at least in that aspect of it. Again, it's December the 2nd. How do they sign up for the tournament? What's the best way?
They can go right to our website and sign up. In addition to the Frontwave Foundation Charity Golf Tournament, which again, Emerald Isle, go directly to our website, or you can send us an email at Frontwave Foundation, no space, at frontwavecu.com. I also would like to put in a plug for, we have a silent auction.
Please.
And it is a VIP December the 7th for the Frontwave Arena. Super excited about that. It is a silent auction for Country Christmas Concert in our VIP suite with Megan Maroney. So that is sure to be a sold-out event. If individuals, including your listeners, would like to bid on that silent auction, they should do so. It is December the 7th, and it's likely to sell out. So that benefiting the Frontwave Foundation.
Right, and that's also on the website, correct?
It is.
Yeah, that sounds good. Bill, we were chatting a little bit before break about your involvement with the schools, Frontwave Foundation. Talk about that.
So we are as passionate about financial education as we are about helping our communities, and we, open up our doors to just about to anybody. We have people that are visiting high schools that are actually helping talking with the director, or I think it's called the director, at the Oceanside Unified School District.
Yeah, superintendent probably.
I'm sorry?
It would be superintendent, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
She's a guest on the chamber board with us.
Yeah. We work with all the superintendents at one of our organizations.
She's been talking to some of our people,
Good.
and of course, they've just passed a couple of laws in the state of California that requires education, financial education. I think at the middle school and the high school level.
That's right.
I was actually last time I was up in Sacramento. Credit unions were advocating on behalf of that because an educated populace makes it better for everybody.
100%.
So we're very passionate about that. We do a lot of training to Marines. Everybody that goes through the Recruit Depot gets 2 hours of training in financial education with us from our people. Non-solicitous, it's just personal financial education, simple stuff. We do a lot of stuff on Camp Pendleton, but we're also teaching at Cal State San Marcos. We're also teaching at the high schools and these types of things and we're helping the Unified School District build the program to provide that financial education that's been dictated by the state. I don't know why it took so long to get that done.
Well, what's really interesting when you bring that up, a million years ago, I worked for San Diego Unified as a curriculum developer. At the time, we had on the course curriculum was consumer math, which was great because it talked about all the stuff that you folks are involved with, interest and mortgages and all that. They got rid of it. They didn't think it was deep enough. And I was saying, and I liked my friends on the school board at the time, and some I'm still friends with many, many, many years later, but I'm going, that's the subject you need to make sure you never get rid of in that aspect of it. I don't have to tell you guys this. It's a poster child for what you folks do with financial education. So I'm glad it's making a comeback. You know better than any, especially when you work with folks that don't have a ton of money. It's important for you to invest wisely or actually know the difference between needs and wants. Okay, talk about that, Bill.
I'll use my daughter as an example. She wants and she gets, and then she's got to try to figure out a way to pay for it. And the Bank of Dad seems to always be open. But
I'm guilty. Can I get in that line? I'm guilty.
It happens, and but we're. Can make that question again?
Yeah. Well, the fact that it's important to know that this is what I need. versus this is what I want. And it seems to be that we all get involved in it a little bit here, but sometimes, the generation my parents were in, and you're a lot younger than my parents, Bill, but maybe the ones you were in, we knew, hey, you make X. If you want to be financially healthy, don't spend more than X, right? Or try the best not to do that.
Yeah, that's not the way people operate anymore.
Not at all.
In some cases, it may be the debt got too easy.
Yeah.
But
good point.
But it is truly important that you've got to live within your means. Back in my day, I always bought a third-hand car because that's all I could afford. Right. And I lived in a small little apartment for a while. That's all I could afford. So we teach about that. We talk about that quite a bit, and it's really relevant to our membership because 37% of our membership is under the age of 24. 57% of our membership meets the National Credit Unions Administration's definition of low income. And so we are now a low income designated credit union and committed to helping the low income communities. And we just got that designation. So we're starting to work on strategically, how do we do this? How do we move out and become effective in that? But it starts with that financial education. And so we've got people on the street every day doing that.
Yeah, and I don't think you can talk about it enough. Our friends at Mission Fed Credit Union that sponsor, my show. And one thing I've always sort of enjoyed about having the credit unions, Cal Coast, we work with pretty close, North Island. You guys are pretty collegial. Yeah, you're competitive. We all understand that, But you know what? Financial education doesn't make a difference who you're coming from, okay, or food insecurity, whatever. We're all in this together, for God's sake, and so forth. So I really applaud what you're doing. A pleasure meeting both of you. First time we've had a Frontwave on our show in 18 years. Hopefully won't be the last on this. Wish you nothing but great success with your December 2nd golf tournament.
Thank you.
And your silent auction on the 7th, and certainly with the arena. Maybe I'll make it up there and, find an event to go to up in North County and that as well. I'll start with you on it, Sarah, and then pivot over to you to Bill. Any final comments?
Well, just thank you for having us on your show and giving your listeners an opportunity to learn a little bit more about what we do. And just really emphasizing the rising costs, as we know in North County, not specifically to North County, but in general. Many families are facing financial strain. We talked about lack of education or needing support, whether that's food banks or shelter or clothing. At the foundation, we're continuously looking to do additional drives to go right back into the community. And we need your support in order to raise those funds, in order to make an even bigger contribution in 2025 and beyond. So thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. And Bill, any final comments?
We've mentioned our commitment to the community many times, and Sarah talked about it. I just want to express how grateful I am for the 128,000 people that entrust us to help them make their financial dreams come true. And I'm really grateful, truly grateful for the 250 plus employees that we have. We call them dream makers. Making financial dreams come true is our mission. Being the best place where members ever banked is our vision. And we're going to continue to uphold the trust that they place in us and continue to serve them every step of the way.
Very, very good. Well, Bill and Sarah, wishing you nothing but great success moving forward. I'm Drew Schlosberg, and you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast. Now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, 6 decades of doing great things. Folks living in San Diego County, we hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.